Every now and then a watch comes my way which not only intrigues my engineering mindset, trying to understand how something works. That's pretty cool. But this thing here also manages to tug at the heart and stimulate the creative artist in me with its visual appeal and its aesthetics. To be honest, there's probably two reasons that stop me from purchasing a watch like this and add it to my collection. Firstly, I don't have $71,000 of disposable income to put into a watch like this. And secondly, I don't have $71,000. So guys, let's run the intro and let's check out this Armin Strom Pure Resonance. There are so many watches that I see on websites that interest me, and yet when I get them in the hand, I have a completely different experience from my expectations. Some of these experiences are positive and some not so much. But this Armin Strom is a pure visual delight, and it's completely surprised me. It really has. I knew what I was expecting regarding its technical specifications, its genius of combining two movements, two barrels, two gear trains, two escapements and two balance wheels all combined to join together through a resonance clutch spring. I knew what I was going to expect there, but I wasn't ready for the visual stimulus and pure beauty that also followed. You see, being a professional photographer for nearly 30 years now, I look for light play. I look for texture and how different materials behave when light falls on them. Personally, I think the designers at Armin Strom have invested so many hours in creating a visually impressive, stimulating watch that also keeps extremely stable and accurate time. First off the bat guys, I want to say a big thank you to Define Watches for allowing me to get hands-on with this timepiece. For those who don't know, Define is an authorized dealer for Armin Strom as well as many other incredible timepieces. I encourage you guys to get on their website, check them out, a really good company. This is the second timepiece I'm getting off them, really cool, a real big thank you from me. But like I said guys, the images that I see on websites, many times they don't do anything for me, and this is such a case here. You see, I saw it on the website, looked pretty cool, no worries, but as soon as I opened the box and the light hit that dial and those synchronous balance wheels, that high polish finish and Geneva striping, I didn't want to give this watch back. Seriously, really cool. Really impressive quality finish. It's taken me by surprise. And for those who know me, I'm not a real big fan of Roman numerals on dials. That's just me and my style, my personal preference. And yet, this watch, it strangely marries up beautifully and creates a pleasing, appropriate classic design choice. If someone were to gift me this watch, like for my birthday or something, I would easily overlook my personal biases as I think it works, and it works really, really well. But being a review, let's move away from the romance and check out the technical aspects and specs of this watch. So what we have is a Caliber ARF16 manual winding resonance system. The watch has two barrels which feature 48 hours of power reserve. It beats at 25,200 vibrations per hour and has 38 joules with a water resistance of up to 50 meters. So you're not going to go swimming with this watch anytime soon. It's not designed for that, as you can see. Now the case diameter of the watch I'm measuring at 42mm with a case height at 12.2mm. The lug to lug distance is 48.2 and a lug width of 20. That crown also comes in at 7mm and the total weight of the watch exactly 100 grams. So on the wrist, as you can see, this watch fits beautifully. It has a lovely presence, it's oozing quality, it really is. And I can see what the designers have done here. It's visually stimulating as well as functional. Extremely easy to read. Now, you might ask, how does this watch work? What's the story here with the two balance wheels? Well, very simple. Resonance. And resonance is nothing new. In physics, we know that an external force or a vibrating system forces another system around it to vibrate with greater amplitude at a specified frequency of operation. So, in layman's terms, applying this principle to this watch, One of the movements in this watch is designed to run the watch itself. The hour, the minute hand, etc. Just like any other watch. It's pretty simple. But the other movement, the second one, which runs alongside the first one, has its balance wheel spinning in the opposite direction. It's connected to the first movement through a central clutch spring. This second movement resonates with the first. It takes about 10 minutes to fully synchronize and then influences the first movement through resonance by increasing and stabilizing its frequency. I know it sounds a little complicated, but the result is extremely accurate timekeeping, even under daily wear and positional variants. It's really ingenious, guys. I love it. This is the purest type of resonance. I suppose that's where the name comes from. Pure resonance. Very cool. With an engineering mindset, what I find impressive with this watch is the fact that they managed to fit all of this stuff, 2 movements in this watch, in a 42mm case. And not just fit, you see, the excellent design, to me visually, it looks like they actually could have done this even with a smaller watch. They could have put it in a smaller case. That's ingenious. That's very, very impressive. Now, Armstrong claims that the increase in performance with these 2 balance wheels, with these 2 movements, is between 15 to 20% stability and frequency. Basically, it results in a far more stable timepiece. So, like I said, guys, if I had a spare 71 grand lying around, I'd seriously consider placing this watch in my personal collection just on its engineering merits alone. Now, turning the watch over is another story altogether. Is it still a visual stimulus? Absolutely yes, but completely opposite. You see, the front dial captures your imagination through symmetrical opposing movement. I see that. Whereas the back captures your attention through texture and tonality. The way the light falls on different surfaces, lines, symmetrical elements, it creates a particular mood. It creates a calm serenity that, honestly, you have to experience this rather than me trying to explain it. It's totally comforting, it really is. Don't get me wrong, guys, there are faults in every timepiece, and for me, on a technical side, I can point out several at once. For one, that crown. Although it's executed beautifully, as you can see it's finished to a T, personally, I find it a little bit difficult to get my hands and get a proper grasp around it. It's a little bit on the thin side. It could have been broader, but that's just me. I think maybe adding some length to this crown would have also spoiled the visual appeal of the actual watch. That's one of my gripes. My second gripe, guys, is that leather strap. You see, although once again it's beautifully handcrafted, it's super comfortable, especially with that deploying clasp, sits really nice on the wrist. My only issue is the fact that if you have a look at these holes, I'm actually on the last one. I'm actually on the final hole to fit my 7-inch wrist. And for me, I think it's either an oversight or this watch was designed for men with bigger wrists than 7-inch. So that could present a problem for somebody sporting a wrist smaller than 180 centimeters. But nothing a decent strap change can't fix. However, at this price point, a couple of extra holes really would have been ideal. Honestly, I think the design, the creativity, the excellent color choice, especially with that sunburst blue in those dials, have made this watch a real treat, not only on the eyes, but also to have it here in the hand, albeit for a couple of days. I've got to give it back. To me, this is a horological creation that was designed to impress the inquisitive engineering mind and yet at the same time bring comfort to the creative artistic individual in all of us with its visual stimulus, both front and back. I know that this watch is not for everyone, I get it, I understand. But honestly, guys, with those 2 main elements ticked off, it's definitely a win-win for somebody who can actually afford this thing and the ability to acquire it and put it in their own watch box. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on this particular watch. Very unique, very different. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I tell you what, after having it for several days, it's really grown on me. The initial visual stimulus got me and it just hasn't let go. It really hasn't. So guys, until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.